In this video, we are going to talk about how the fearful avoidant attachment style impacts friendships. I am Pauline, and I am so happy you are here because there were quite some questions about how this attachment style impacts all areas of your life, but also specifically friendships. And I do have to say that I think this differs so much. So much. There are fearful avoidants who have amazing friendships, really strong friendships, and they only struggle in the area of relationships. And there are fearful avoidants who really notice their attachment style also in the area of friendships. So, assuming you're the latter, we are just going to talk about that, and you might not recognize anything of it, and that's completely fine. It doesn't mean you don't have the fearful avoidant attachment style, because I think that comes out the most in romantic or intimate relationships. One of the reasons why not every fearful avoidant has trouble with friendships is because they are emotionally a lot less intense. You can have friendships without deep connection. It is not necessarily expected. There are so many different types of friendships. There is not really not as much as with romantic relationships an image of what a friendship should be or shouldn't be. There's actually quite a lot of different examples of what friendships can be. And so you could have friendships that just don't really trigger your attachment style, which is amazing. And it could also be that you do notice it. And what you can notice is that what I have found in a lot of people that do struggle with friendships is that they tend to be very good at making a first impression. So they actually don't really mind meeting new people. It's the long term that usually I think fearful avoidants struggle with, because that comes with consistency, that comes with commitment, that comes with according to the fearful avoidant expectations, and those three things are or can be triggers for the fearful avoidant. So consistency is not a strong suit for most fearful avoidants. Actually quite triggering, because of those highs and lows, and because of the moments you just want to pull away and hide, really. So fearful avoidance can be ghosters, which means that you ghost people, you just don't respond anymore. And I know that there's a lot of fearful avoidance that do this in friendships too. So they just don't really respond anymore. They go into kind of like this shame spiral, or this hiding period, and it's very hard then for a fearful avoidant to reach out and to reach out to friends. And then the commitment part is what is triggering, in the sense that a lot of fearful avoidants feel like they can fail, or they can mess up or make mistakes, and that somebody just won't like them anymore. So the fact that it might be a long-term friendship might be scary or threatening. And therefore it's easier to only have the first impression part, because then you only have to perform once, and then that's it. And a lot of fearful avoidants are actually quite good at that, at performing once, at peaking, and then have a hard time sustaining that, because they feel like they have to sustain that. So there's a lot of almost like performing that surrounds friendships, according to the fearful avoidant, because obviously that's not true. You don't have to perform. If you find the right friends, they will just love you for who you are and will take you as you are, whether you're up or down, it doesn't matter. And then I think another thing that impacts friendships is that a lot of fearful avoidants are just surviving. It's so hard to deal and live with pain and trauma, and you just don't have a lot of space for other people and to be there for them and to hold space for their problems. And you're probably really good at that. That is actually one of the gifts that you have, but when you are in that survival mode, it's very hard to find the energy and the space to do that, which is so freaking logical. So when you are really struggling with the fearful avoidant attachment style right now, please allow yourself the time to heal, and don't put it upon yourself to also have friendships that are really close and tight. You can always build that. It is never, ever, ever too late to have that, to build that, to maintain that, to deepen that. You don't have to do that right now. Having said that, also take inventory of who is in your life right now and who is there for you, who is trying to reach out, who is trying to be there for you, because it very well can be that you don't even really recognize it, don't really see it. Allow them to reach out to you and be there for you. That is already such a brave step. You don't have to be anything, do anything specifically to give back. People just love you for you. You don't have to do or be anything. I think it really depends on your associations around friendships, whether your fearful avoidant attachment style comes out in friendships. If you've, for instance, been bullied by your peers, that will be a base for the fearful avoidant attachment style to also be there in friendships. It could also be what you got from your parents. So if your parents were very focused on friendships, and you have to have friendships and you have to do it right, and they were very managing and monitoring of your social interactions, that could make friendships harder, because then you have that feeling that you have to perform and you have to do things a certain way, and otherwise people will reject you or abandon you. So yeah, I think it really will help you to kind of write down in your in whatever form what your beliefs are around friendships, what you think you have to give or do, and then see if that is actually reasonable, or that is just completely non-realistic. Healing the fearful avoidant attachment style will definitely also help with healing friendships, so that you have friends who are just loving and kind and love you for who you are and can lift you up and be there for you, because that is what you deserve. That is what you have always deserved. That is what you will always deserve. Let me know in the comments below whether this was valuable to you. I really am curious. And as always, I am so happy you are here, and I will see you in the next one.